My never I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there. I see them yopo.
Kwesi Pratt has finally reacted to the outcome of the election and also asked the NDC members to stay calm and not to be arrogant like the NPP. He also urged Ghanaians to throw massive support behind Mahama because he needs that to solve the problem ahead. Without much ado, I would like you to join me listening to what he said into detail. This station still remains PENDREAM TV, the only channel that brings you the best and latest updates in politics. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, turn it to all posts so that you'll be notified daily of any things that will be loaded onto the channel. Thank you. Your comments are most important to us. Please do leave a comment after watching. Send us a voice note on our WhatsApp number, which is 0277 128 777 as well. Thank you.
Weddings, there are all kinds of things to go to. So we're grateful to you for coming and joining us here. When Kwesi Pratt is done, I'll pass around the mic to those of you who want to make a contribution to the discussion we're having, because it is you who voted. Some of you also police the ballots for political parties. So you did majority of the job. So we'll pass the mic around for you to share a comment or two when we get there. But first, let me remind you that we're also live on Radio Gold 90.5 FM. Of course, we are live on Pan-African television. We're live on many other affiliate stations across the country. It's a matter of all talk shows, Alaji and Alaji. We are live from Fase Gardens. It's adjacent the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, Bethel Congregation in La. Comrade.
Well, Senator, I don't intend to speak. I was very, very well, Senator, today I don't intend to speak for a very long time. I intend to speak as short as possible to allow you, the people of La, to express yourselves on this program. And I do that in appreciation to the hundreds of thousands of our listeners and our viewers who have made this program the biggest talk show in Ghana. Now is the time for you to take the microphone and express yourself. Now is the time for you to take the microphone and make your demands on the authorities. Now is the time for you to tell your story of intensified exploitation and oppression. Now is the time to tell the real story of the people of Ghana who were called upon on 7th December to cast their votes. There is nothing which has happened which could not be predicted. Everything which has happened since the elections was predictable. When the government started packing the Electoral Commission, it must have been obvious that they intended to do something against the law and against the wishes of our people. Everybody knows Professor Abiahene. We have seen videos of him on television campaigning for the New Patriotic Party and actually declaring that he would do everything and anything possible for the NPP to win elections. If a government appoints such a person onto the Electoral Commission, you can predict exactly what the Electoral Commission is going to do. It was clear from the very beginning. If you have a member of the commission come out and say that as far as is concerned, one of the political parties contesting the elections is a danger to democracy, you can predict what the outcome of the elections will be. So, now, if you have an electoral commission which simply looks us in the face and says that we are independent, we are God, we are omnipotent and omnipresent, and so on, we don't listen to the people. Whatever Parliament says is not important. The Constitution makes us independent. You can't predict exactly what is going to happen. If you have an electoral commission and you hear that its IT section is being manned by party loyalists, you can predict what is going to happen. It doesn't take any serious science to predict what is going to happen. So many things have happened in this election, and it should be clear to us that the signs were very, very clear. Now, this election took place against the background of many happenings of the international scene. One of the things that served as a background to this election was simply the Russian-Ukrainian war. And we do know as a fact that this war came about because the West was determined to target Russia, to place its missiles close to Russia so that it can have an attack on Russia and destroy Russia. It had nothing to do with democracy. It had nothing to do with the will of the people of Ukraine and so on. It was the aggression of the NATO countries, clear and simple. This election took place at a time when more than 45,000 Palestinians had been killed by the Israeli colonial apartheid occupier. That has nothing to do with democracy. It has nothing to do with the expression of the will of the people. So if you live in a country where the president declares full support for Israel and Ukraine, you can predict what would happen. And indeed, what has happened is a clear manifestation of the recklessness of the Ukrainian authorities and their backers, and the recklessness of the Israeli authorities hell-bent on committing genocide and so on. It's clear. Now, 10 hours to the election, something very significant happened. 10 hours to the elections. The Minister of Interior, who thankfully has lost elections, made an announcement that they were closing all land borders. All the land borders were being closed. And I sat back and said, why? It means that if you're a Ghanaian and you're in New York, you can jump onto the plane, come back to Ghana and cast your vote and go back in peace. No problem. If you're a Ghanaian and you are in Bonn, Germany, you can come and cast your vote. But if you're a Ghanaian and you live in Togo, where you can just walk across the border and cast your ballot, you would not be allowed to cast your ballot. What kind of justice is this? What kind of justice is this? So very clearly, we could predict that something was afoot. Now, before this announcement, we knew that practically every elections, before we go to the elections, they will come up and talk to us about secessionist movements in the Volta region. And they will move soldiers there and cause mayhem and do all kinds of things in what is known as voter suppression. Now, those who believe in free and fair elections don't engage in voter suppression. So we knew what was going to happen. But you see, most interesting development before the elections was this young man who says that he's a lawyer, and I have no doubt that he can't be a lawyer, who sat on television and told us that, look, this election, you can vote anyhow you want. But when you finish voting, we will command our drafts to change the election results. Can't you see the drafts have been commanded? There's a vigorous attempt to change the will of the people. Those may be the drafts. So it's clear what they intended to do. Then they looked us in the face and told us that, look, as for elections, there are 1 million ways of winning elections. There's only one way of winning elections. Put the ballot box down, let the people express their will, count it at the end, declare winners. That is how elections are conducted. But they told us that apart from that one way, legitimate legal way of winning elections, they had 900,000 and more other ways of winning in the elections. We are seeing those ways of winning elections being put into practice. But unfortunately for them, the people of Ghana are so wide awake that those 1 million ways will not work. We will not allow the 1 million ways to work. And the will of the people has been expressed and will be the law of this country. Nobody today can change the fact that John Dramani Mahama won the election and is president-elect, and on 7th January 2025 will swear the oath of office as President of the Republic of Ghana. Nothing is going to change that. Nothing is going to change the fact that today in Parliament, the New Patriotic Party is a very small minority. Nothing is going to change that fact. Indeed, nothing is going to change the fact that for the first time in our history, a presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party was scoring 0, 0, 0, 0 in many polling stations. Nothing will change that fact. I don't want to spend my time on the complaints of the parts. There are many complaints, legitimate complaints. The increasing price of petroleum products, the suffering of taxi and trotro drivers, the fact that the La General Hospital was broken, the general misery that people suffered. In spite of the loud claims about free SHS, we know the children were being fed with unwholesome food. We know that. So we know all those things. And I'm not going to dwell on that. I like to dwell on now, today, and tomorrow. That's the most important thing. And I think it should be very clear to those who won the elections. Those who won the elections. President-elect John Dramani Mahama. The parliamentarians who won the elections and so on. It should be very clear to them that a new Ghanaian has arrived on the scene, and that new Ghanaian is not stupidly partisan. If you don't perform, we will throw you out of office. And that message must sound very clear and loud to those who won the elections. I've been watching television and I've been listening to radio, and I'm shocked by some of the things I'm hearing from big men and women who have won elections. The teasing is too much. They are teasing those who lost the elections. For what? Worry, oh, worry, and so on. Stupid! Worry today. You have won. Come and tell us what you are going to do to improve our conditions of life. And stop the unnecessary foolish teasing. I want to see people who are coming into government today telling us that all hands are needed on deck. Every Ghanaian has to make sacrifices in order for us to move forward. They should be telling us that every Ghanaian, irrespective of your political party, irrespective of who you voted for and so on, is needed to rescue this country from bankruptcy. Because this country is bankrupt. This country is broke. Look, our accounts are in the negative. There is no money anywhere. The other time I was listening to President John Dramani Mahama, President-elect, and he was saying that, look, we owe the independent power producers $2.5 billion. That's how much we owe them. The loan we are going for from the IMF is $3 billion. So if you pay the independent power producers alone, the money is virtually finished. So this is the time to think. This is the time to act. This is the time to mobilize and so on. This is the time to put our shoulders to the wheel in order to ensure that in 2028, what the NPP is suffering today will not be suffered by the NDC or any other political party or leadership in the future. That is where we ought to be. And I want to pray. I want to join my brother Chumbuafo in urging especially the young men who are coming into government. They should learn from what happened to the NPP. Arrogance will take them nowhere. Arrogance. That's useless bluffing. Your wife's birthday, you take her to dinner, and then you take video to come and show us. Who cares how your wife celebrates her birthday? Or you go to Dubai, you take first class in a plane, you go to Dubai, and you go and Miliki, and you take videos to come and show us. You are an idiot. Because we don't care. What we want to see done is for the conditions of lives of our people to improve. What we want to see done is for the general hospital at La to be rebuilt. What we want to see is that those who are stolen lands at trade fair sites, the lands are taken from them and utilized in the public interest. That is what we want. Stop bluffing. Stop raising your shoulders. You are nobodies. You are like all of us. None of you is superior to the people who voted for you. And that message must go out loud and clear. You see, John Mahama has a huge headache. Huge problem. And we are the only people who can help him to solve that problem. Everybody wants some appointment. Everybody. 38 million Ghanaians, everybody wants to be ambassador, everybody wants to be minister, everybody wants to be deputy minister, everybody wants to be everything. And they will tell you about how they sacrifice and work hard for the party to win. So, you worked hard for the party to win so that you can become Lord over us. I'm sorry. I am sorry. That's not why we listened to you. We didn't listen to you because you want to be minister, or you want to be chief executive of Bost, or you want to be chief executive of Tema Oil Refinery and so on. That's not why we listened to you. We listened to you because over a period of 7 years, the price of Kenke had risen from 50 pesos to 5 cedis. We listened to you because the price of rice had quadrupled. We listened to you because we could no longer afford health care. We listened to you because our roads are bad. We listened to you because we wanted a new leadership, a new sincere leadership, a new visionary leadership. We didn't listen to you because you want to become national security coordinator. Go to hell. That's not why this government was voted into power. And President-elect John Dramani Mahama is going to need your support to say no to all these kinds of peoples who are going to make his work exceedingly difficult. Exceedingly difficult. You need to become the backbone of this new revolution which is about to unfold. Dear friends, I am fully aware of the role that this constituency has played in Ghanaian politics. Ladade Kotopon has always been on the side of the progressive forces. This is a constituency which stood behind Osajefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah when he started his most ambitious development plans. This is a constituency which stood behind Osajefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah when he declared his intention to unite the whole of Africa under one single continental government. This constituency has never been on the side of bomb throwers and crooks. So we come here in salute to the people of this constituency who know what is right and would help in doing what is right. We come here to salute you, and it is my pleasure to put the microphone down so that you can express yourselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And he's opened the floor. So if you'd like to share a thought on the matter of the elections, please raise your hand. We'll bring a microphone to you, and you can share your views on what you think about the just ended elections. Era, please help me. The gentleman in the green shirt. Yes. Please keep the hands up so we can identify you and give you the mic so that you can share your thoughts with us. If you just join us, the Mother of All Talk Shows, Alaji and Alaji. We are live from Fase Gardens in La. Yes, sir.
Hello. Hello. Inye memi banyedo manye. Wanaka wacheme. Ame yue brofwe sang ni. Brofwe BPE. Je wo fe wo to ya me ya ojuba. No eni wo she wo ba yue wo man yue mo. Keke mo fia mo eni na no ni wo to wo no wo yue. Inye meke ncheme mi banyedo manye ejeme. No ni wo juo lele kaji wo ba wo mane mi e ya wonto pa ha wo government ne ba wo ne e je wa wi wa e ja keke o ba ko e bi anto ne krab ko te prisons ye bi ne akumu wo chuwe banke amenkumu manke na me colony bi fe ken kaji o ba wo trefe ne e ya wonto wa Obaya cantonment ne I want you pon angamoko waka 10,000 which is 100 million. Maba. Sane ba na kan. Ni wona ke wo government ne ba wo la wo shikojin woni bi ando so ni ne tackle. No ba ka wo mahin nyelo ni ba le wo la ka chefio. Wo la ka wo mahin nyelo ni ba na fio. Wo ba pa le fa ka ji ba e ka no na machine. E ka no na machine wa ye wo la shikojin e ja ka government ni ba e je wa wi. No wo ba pa wo yin nyelo aka ka ji ba e ba wa wo fio. Ni wo no fia no ya no twa no manya ba.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please pass the mic to the next person.
My name is Rahman. Mine is not a contribution, but rather a question. My first question goes to all the panelists, and then the second one goes to our former MP, Honorable Namwale. We were told there was something like elections task force, and then the electoral commissioner told us some of his presiding officers declared elections under duress. So in this case, can the security agencies who were present at the election day be summoned at the court to tell the entire nation how come somebody was able to go to the collation centers with guns and other things? Because now they are the only persons who can tell the entire country that so and so person went to the collation centers with guns and then they were arrested. These are the things, the materials we found on them. My second question goes to Honorable Namwale. We want to know the current state of the aviation park, if he has idea of what is happening there. The aviation park at Wireless. Because the whole place has been demolished, construction is ongoing. We want to know if he has an idea as a former MP of the constituency. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Mine is a form of a question, in a question form. Please, I want to know if there is any clue that if somebody should demolish an edifice of this nature and then his term of office is exhausted and he's going home, who is he leaving that thing for to come and do, build or continue? Because there should be a precedent that if you demolish something, you can't go and sit down for somebody else to come and build. Because looking at the thing, I see it as sheer wickedness. Because how can you break down your house whilst you've not even bought a block or a cement? It means it's deliberate. Please, I'll plead so that serious scrutiny should go on. If there should be any money somewhere, sitting somewhere, to come and complete this thing. Because when I have friends from outside, when they come, the signboard that they see is like the outgoing president waving to we, the people of La, that thank you for building the La General Hospital, as if it has been built. If you look at the signboards all over, thank you for constructing the General Hospital. I feel it's an insult to all of us. So I'll plead, if there should be some sort of security, find out what is at stake. What have they put down to complete this building, even before they leave office? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning. I want to speak to our MP-elect here at La Dade Kotopon. There are a lot of commentaries going around that La Dade Kotopon is not limited to this place alone. We have Bema Camp, we have Chado, we have Kanto, we have Laboni, Akwaje, and all those places. But the people around, when we were doing the Kato Connect, we heard a lot. Our youth organizer is right here. The MP, it seems, was not visible at those places. It made the work very difficult. And for going forward into the next election, we want to continue from where we stopped, the 68 point whatever percent. And so this is a message to her. If she is watching, she should touch base with these people at these places. There are some polling stations around Akwaje that NDC never won before. But this time, NDC won convincingly there. And so this is her message. Like our honorables has just mentioned. No arrogance. Visit them. If you are NP here, your work is to get closer to them. Let them know you are with them. And that is it. A day with a ward or a polling station, it's enough for the people. You will not go and build toilet at Cantonment. You will not go and build library at Laboni. But visit them. Let them feel your presence. This is a message. We love her. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. Firstly, I would like to thank the station for bringing this program Alaji, to the doorsteps of the ordinary Ghanaian. I had a wind of this encounter very late, so you pardon me for not speaking to the subjects discussed here. However, I have a problem. I know going forward, we are going to grapple with changes in the name of the seat of government, the Flagstaff House, which is now Jubilee House, and it's quite clear it might go back to Flagstaff House. But then we need to have a middle ground. And that middle ground is that we have one name that will affect every one of us here, being in opposition or in government. The seat of government is sitting on Independence Avenue. It is a proposal coming from me. We can at least make the seat of government Independence House or Black Star House. The moment you come out with that, it covers everybody. That is my number one. The number two issue has to do with the National Cathedral. According to the outgoing president, it was something that he made a pledge to God that if ever he was able to win a second term of office, he would build him a national cathedral. And we all saw it. It started in earnest by pulling down structures. We were put up there not too long ago, and it started it. Yeah. Now the question is, he's going out of government. He's no longer in charge. But there's no cathedral as he promised the Almighty God. And we cannot fail God. he is filled. But we really don't know what to do with the deep hole that he is created there. So my proposal is this. It's just a proposal. We're going to build a national cathedral. And the question now arises, where are we going to get a fund? It might seem like a joke or something, but at least this president is going out with certain benefits. He had people put in place, board of directors, board of trustees, what and not. They all have assets all over the country. At least that money that is supposed to be paid to this president who is on his way out could be used to complete the national cathedral. And those of his cohorts who are with him, we seize all the properties they have, and we give them the time frame by which they should complete the cathedral. Yes, indeed. We need a cathedral, as he has said. So this is what I would like here. Thank you for bringing this program very close to us. At least I've been able to see people that have been watching on set, and I've wished to meet them in person. Solomon Uso, the Honorable, my former boss at Frizo, then my comrade, Kwesi Pratt. So now, this is what I have this morning. Thank you, and I hope this program will not only be limited to Labadi, but it will go to Teshin and many other places. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ira, a moment, before we take any further comments. You have 2 mics. Yeah.
My brother, I don't... Hello?
Yes.
My brother, I don't know what you do. But whatever you do, I want to assure you that this voice of yours, if anybody heard it, it's gold. This is radio voice, extraordinary voice. I mean, in those days, if Mike Egan had heard you, you'd be on radio tomorrow morning, just for your voice. You know, the quality of your voice is extraordinary. I mean, this is baritone, forceful, this is radio voice. And I hope you explore that, you know, because you have a fantastic voice for radio. Now to your suggestion about the cathedral. Now, if it has cost $58 million just to dig the hole, how much do you think it's going to cost to complete the cathedral? And given all the priorities we have, why should we go and complete this useless cathedral? In any case, if there is any God who thinks that the way to show appreciation to him is to build a house for him, I don't want to worship that God. That God is not my God. It's a useless God. I mean, a homeless God, a God looking for accommodation in Accra. That certainly is not my God. And then finally, if this government attempts to complete that useless cathedral, it should say goodbye to power, because it's not coming back to power. That's clear. That's a useless project, completely useless project. We should be thinking of what to use the land for, which will benefit the people of this country. Maybe build a hospital, an ultra-modern hospital or something. But cathedral. Ofe Buani built a basilica in Yamoussoukro. What happened? A few years later, there was civil war in his country. His country was torn apart. And so these useless projects, we should forget them and park them one side. They don't improve the life of the people and so on. You know, look, we have used the name of God to deceive our people for too long. I mean, too many charlatans. Too many charlatans in Kasok. Plenty of them, charlatans, thieves, rogues in Kasok. They are worse than armed robbers. And then they wear the Kasok and they come and they want to fool us and so on. Nobody needs a cathedral. That cathedral must not be built. And if it's built, we will protest.
Thank you for staying tuned. PENDREAM TV really appreciate your time on the channel. Once again, we urge you to share the link to others to watch as well. Also leave a comment at the comment section. Subscribe as well before leaving. Thank you.
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Ah nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.